Imagine this. Two people are arguing. One is shouting, explaining, defending. The other is silent. Not weak silence. Not confused silence. Calm, controlled silence. And strangely, the silent one wins. Not the argument. Not the moment. They win respect. They win power. They win control. Why does silence feel stronger than words? Why does the quietest person in the room feel the most powerful? And how can you use silence to become mentally strong? Today you'll learn the psychology of silence. Why emotionally strong people speak less. How silence changes social dynamics. When silence makes you magnetic. And when silence becomes dangerous. By the end of this video, you won't see silence as emptiness. You'll see it as power. Silence is not weakness. Most people think silence means fear. Lack of confidence. Losing an argument. Or not knowing what to say. But silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Who feels stronger? Someone who reacts instantly. Or someone who pauses and chooses when to speak. Powerful people don't rush their energy outward. They control it. Silence is restraint. And restraint is dominance. In nature, the loudest animal isn't the strongest. The strongest animal is often the quietest. Lions don't roar while hunting. They roar after they've won. That's silence. Not weakness. Preparation. How the brain reacts to silence. When someone speaks aggressively, your brain prepares for defense. But when someone stays silent, your brain starts guessing. What are they thinking? Did I say something wrong? Are they judging me? Silence forces self-reflection. And self-reflection feels uncomfortable. That discomfort creates pressure. The loud person loses control. The silent person gains it. Because the mind hates uncertainty. And silence creates uncertainty. Why emotionally strong people speak less? Emotionally weak people talk more. Because they want to defend themselves. Explain themselves. Prove themselves. And be validated. Emotionally strong people don't chase validation. They attract respect. They don't explain every action. They don't panic when misunderstood. They don't fight every accusation. Their confidence doesn't depend on opinions. It comes from inside. Silence is a sign of emotional security. You stop talking. Not because you're scared. But because you're not desperate. And desperation shows in words. Confidence doesn't. Silence in conflict. In conflict, words become weapons. People raise voices. They interrupt. They attack. But when one person becomes silent, the emotional energy collapses. The other person feels uncomfortable. Arguing alone. Power shifts. Because power needs resistance. Silence gives none. Silence isn't about winning arguments. It's about keeping control. Every emotional reaction gives power away. Every pause takes it back. Silence isn't submission. It's mastery. 3 types of silence. Not all silence is powerful. Some silence is weak. Some silence is harmful. Some silence is powerful. Fierce silence happens when you stay quiet because you're scared or feel inferior. This silence builds frustration. It destroys confidence. Avoidance silence happens when you stay quiet to punish. It damages relationships. Conscious silence happens when you choose not to react. Control your emotions. And value peace over ego. This silence is powerful. People feel your presence. Even when you say nothing. Silence and high status. High status people speak less. But their words carry weight. Low status people speak more. To earn attention. High status people already have it. That's why leaders speak less. When they speak, people listen. The more you talk, the cheaper your words become. The less you talk, the heavier your words feel. Silence turns words into value. Silence and attraction. Silence creates mystery. When you reveal everything, there's nothing left to discover. When you talk non-stop, there's nothing left to wonder. Silence creates space. Space creates attraction. Quiet confidence feels powerful. Calm presence feels dominant. Silence says, I'm comfortable with myself. And that confidence attracts people. When silence becomes dangerous. Silence can become dangerous. If you use silence to avoid conversations, you lose connection. If you use silence to suppress emotions, they return stronger. If you use silence to punish, you break trust. Real power silence is not avoiding communication. It's controlling it. There's a difference between not reacting and not expressing. Strong silence pauses. Healthy communication continues. How to use silence properly. Pause before reacting. Give yourself 3 seconds. Stop over-explaining. You don't owe everyone your story. Let silence end arguments. Don't feed emotional chaos. Speak only when it adds value. Become comfortable with quiet. Most people talk because silence feels uncomfortable. Powerful people feel comfortable in silence. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. The angriest voice is rarely the most powerful. The calmest presence almost always wins. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is control. Silence is confidence. Silence is strength. When you stop needing to be heard, you start being felt. When you stop proving, you start commanding. When you stop reacting, you start controlling. And sometimes, when you stop talking, you become unstoppable. If this video helped you see silence differently, hit the like button. If you want more psychology and self-growth content, subscribe to the channel. And comment below. What's one situation where silence made you stronger? Your support helps this channel grow. See you in the next video.